Most people think intelligence makes decisions easier. Psychology says the opposite. The smarter you are, the harder it becomes to choose what to eat for lunch. And once you understand why, you'll realize your overthinking isn't a flaw. It's proof your brain works differently than most. Here's what nobody tells you. While average minds see 2 options and pick one, your brain generates 12. You're not standing in front of the coffee menu wondering about flavors. You're running cost-benefit analyses, weighing long-term caffeine tolerance, calculating optimal productivity windows, and questioning if you even need coffee at all. This isn't indecision. This is what psychologists call analysis paralysis. And it doesn't happen because you're broken. It happens because your mind refuses to accept surface-level answers. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Your intelligence isn't helping you live better. It's trapping you in an endless loop of what-if scenarios that steal hours of your life. And the worst part, you know it's happening, but you can't stop it. The first sign, your brain treats every choice like a life or death decision. It's 7 p.m. You're standing in your closet trying to pick an outfit for tomorrow. Everyone else grabs jeans and leaves. But you're calculating weather patterns, social context, color psychology, and whether this choice aligns with how you want to be perceived. Your brain doesn't see shirt or sweater. It sees 17 different combinations, each with its own probability tree of social outcomes. This is called cognitive elaboration. Your mind automatically expands simple decisions into complex problem-solving exercises. And here's the brutal part. Research consistently shows that more options often lead to lower satisfaction and decision paralysis. Barry Schwartz, psychologist at Swarthmore College, calls this the paradox of choice. More options don't create freedom. They create psychological prison. You're not overthinking because you care more. You're overthinking because your brain has more processing power, and it uses all of it, whether the decision deserves it or not. Stay with me because this next part explains why you can spend 30 minutes choosing a Netflix show, but make major life decisions in seconds. The second sign, you see consequences most people don't. Someone suggests ordering pizza. Everyone agrees immediately, but you are silent. Not because you don't like pizza, because your brain just ran a simulation. The sodium content, how you'll feel in 2 hours, whether it fits your budget this week, if it's worth the calories, and what it says about your discipline. This is pattern recognition on overdrive. While someone else sees pizza, you see a branching timeline of outcomes. You're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And in everyday decisions, that's exhausting. Here's the harsh truth. Your ability to see consequences is an evolutionary advantage that modern life turned into a curse. 10,000 years ago, noticing patterns others missed kept you alive. Today, it keeps you stuck at the grocery store comparing Greek yogurt brands for 15 minutes. Barry Schwartz's work on the paradox of choice shows that intelligent minds generate more internal options than actually exist in reality. You're not seeing reality clearly. You're seeing every possible version of reality simultaneously. But here's what makes this truly painful, and most people don't want to admit this part. The third sign, your overthinking rarely leads to better outcomes. Let me tell you something that's going to hurt. All that analysis, it doesn't actually improve your decisions. Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia conducted a famous study where college students chose strawberry jams. Students who analyzed their reasons for liking each jam made worse choices than students who just went with their gut. Their decisions aligned less with expert ratings. In another study, he found that students who overanalyzed which college courses to take were less satisfied with their choices weeks later compared to students who decided quickly. Wilson discovered something he calls the introspection illusion. When you overthink, you don't access deeper wisdom. You focus on reasons that are easy to verbalize but aren't the real drivers of your preferences. You start inventing logical explanations for gut feelings, and those invented reasons lead you away from what you actually want. So why does your brain keep doing it? Because it's wired for a world that no longer exists. Your ancestors who overanalyzed patterns survived. The ones who didn't notice the subtle movements in the grass got eaten. Your intelligence is an evolutionary gift that modern life turned into a psychological prison. You're not being thorough, you're being trapped by your own processing power. And this next part is the one nobody wants to face, because it means everything you thought was helping you is actually destroying your peace. The fourth sign, you replay conversations for days. It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed replaying something you said 6 hours ago. Every word, every pause, every facial expression from the other person. You're running alternate scenarios where you said something different, analyzing what they really meant, calculating if you came across wrong. This is called rumination, and according to a 2015 study from the University of Waterloo and Carleton University, published in Personality and Differences, people with higher verbal intelligence are more prone to worry and rumination. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine that never stops looking for optimization opportunities. But here's the problem. You're not learning from the conversation, you're torturing yourself with it. Susan Nolan-Hoxema's research on rumination shows it doesn't lead to problem-solving, it leads to anxiety and depression. You think you're being self-aware, you're actually being self-destructive, because while you're replaying yesterday, everyone else is living today. If that hit you, good, because here's the part that changes everything once you understand it. The fifth sign: small decisions drain you, but big ones feel easy. You can spend 40 minutes deciding between two pairs of identical black socks, but when it came to choosing your career path or ending a relationship, you decided instantly. This feels backwards, but it's not. This is decision fatigue meeting stakes assessment. Roy Baumeister's research at Florida State University proved that decision-making depletes mental energy like a muscle. Every choice costs you, especially meaningless ones. But here's the twist. Your brain knows the difference between decisions that matter and decisions that don't. Big decisions activate your intuitive decision-making systems. Small decisions activate your analytical systems. And your analytical system is the one that overthinks. So you waste cognitive resources on black socks because your brain treats it like a logic puzzle. But career choices? Those bypass analysis and go straight to gut wisdom. Your overthinking isn't constant, it's selective, and it targets the decisions that matter least. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Obama only wore blue or gray suits. Why? Because decision fatigue is real, and they understood something crucial. Intelligent minds burn through mental energy faster than most. They weren't being boring, they were being strategic. So what do you actually do about this? Because understanding it doesn't fix it. And this is where most psychology videos fail you. Here's what psychology says actually works. Not theory, not inspiration, evidence. The first strategy: the 2-minute rule for low-stakes decisions. If a decision has reversible consequences and takes less than 2 minutes to execute, make it in 10 seconds or less. Research consistently shows that fast, intuitive decisions on low-stakes choices often produce equal or better satisfaction than prolonged deliberation. What to eat for lunch? 10 seconds. Which route to take? 10 seconds. The Netflix show? 10 seconds. Your brain will scream that you need more information. Ignore it. Save your cognitive power for decisions that actually alter your life trajectory. The second strategy: pre-commit to decision frameworks. Create rules for recurring decisions so you stop making them. I always order the second item on the menu. I take the first parking spot I see. I work out at 6 a.m. No negotiations. This isn't limiting freedom, it's buying it back. Research shows that people who pre-commit to decision frameworks experience significantly less daily anxiety because they weren't bleeding mental energy on meaningless choices. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Obama only wore blue or gray suits. Why? Because decision fatigue is real, and they eliminated micro-decisions to preserve mental energy from macro ones. The third strategy: embrace satisficing over maximizing. Nobel Prize winner Herbert Simon introduced the concept of satisficing versus maximizing. Maximizers need the absolute best option. Satisficers choose the first option that meets their criteria. Guess who's happier? Satisficers, by massive margins. Your intelligent brain wants to maximize every decision.
But here's the psychology. The difference between a 95% optimal choice and a 100% optimal choice is negligible in outcome, but massive in mental cost. Train yourself to recognize good enough, not as settling, as strategy. The restaurant that's 8 out of 10? Go there. The shirt that's pretty good? Wear it. The career move that's solid but not perfect? Take it. Research shows satisficers make decisions faster and report higher satisfaction with their choices because they're not haunted by the ghost of the perfect option they might have missed. Strategy 4. Externalize your thinking. Write it down. Your brain loops because it's trying to hold too much internally. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner, uses a simple framework: list options, assign scores, pick the winner. The act of externalizing removes the emotional weight. And set a deadline. I will choose by Friday at noon. Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available. Your analysis will expand infinitely if you let it. Here's what you learned today. Your overthinking isn't a flaw. It's intelligence without direction. You don't need to fix your brain. You need to teach it which decisions deserve full power
and which ones don't. Remember the 4 strategies: decide small things in 10 seconds, create rules for daily choices, choose good enough instead of perfect, and write things down to stop the loops in your head. Your brain is powerful. Stop wasting it on coffee orders and Netflix choices. Save it for decisions that actually matter. Most people will scroll away and stay stuck. But if you want to understand how your mind actually works, subscribe now. Every week, we break down raw psychology truths nobody tells you. Drop a comment. What's the most ridiculous thing you've overthought this week? And remember, your overthinking is just intelligence without direction. Give it direction and watch what happens.